overrun for Tuesday, the 4th of August 2026. Thought I'd do a very quick recap of price action. I forgot to do Sunday, so I'll do that before I move on. So, what I was looking for with Sunday is composite liquidity on the 1 hour. So typically what I do, I think I've stated this previously, take it from the top wick, wait for selling to subside, and then wait for strong close on the 1 hour, a close and open, and then set the bottom of the liquidity on that, and then wait for a 50% touch. So luckily, we got a 50% touch there. You could take that to mean reversion. What else did we get here? We also got a accumulation over Saturday for the new month, and then you get a mousetrap coming on New York PM session, just before New York PM session. So I'd be waiting for a full test of 4-hour support here, which is what we got. And then we got a confirmation of reversal of price with the 50% rule for 1 hour liquidity. We can go back here very quickly and then go into 5 minute. So obviously get the initial push down into 4-hour support. And then you get another test here. So that's what I'd be looking for double confirmation. And then you get all untouched liquidity in here. That's where I put the 5 minute liquidity for a potential reversal pattern again and test, which we do get in the future. Now, what else would I be looking for? We go to 1 hour. Strangely enough, we get a good bull div. So you would absolutely expect another traversal of the developing monthly VWAP. Now, what else do we get? So we get that initial rotation here. From here with the bull div, testing 50% of liquidity, we'll bring this up to here on the strong close. So we get stacked liquidity for composite and 1 hour. 1 hour on the high volume selling candle, plus encompassing all this untouched liquidity as well. So I'd be expecting, I think I talked about this, a strong open and test of liquidity on Monday pre-Asia session, typically 2 hours before Asia, which is what happened. So we normally get that 1 hour pre-Asia, which is what happened here. And then we get strong volume pushing all the way through. We'll come back here very quickly. Something to note as well, all closes are below the 50% of the 1 hour composite and 1 hour liquidity. We'll go to the 3 minute. 3 minute gives good indication with the closes. You can obviously bring this down for the initial top test. You get a 50% confirmation with high volume selling, and then you could do untouched liquidity as well, and you get another 50% confirmation. So very high probability of price reversal here. What else would I be looking at? I'd also be looking at a potential bear div, which is what we get here on the 30 minute. Whoop. Are we going to get out of that? Yes, we are. So we have a bear div, very strong probability of reversal and traversal of the developing monthly VWAP, which is what we get. Strong enough to test liquidity in the bottom again. Something to note as well, the M pattern, especially a mean reversion of monthly VWAP, typically means that it's a sign of weakness. The opposite in a bottom, being a W, is a sign of strength. So that's also another thing to consider. And we didn't get a mousetrap So it's essentially a double bottom, though the closes are a lot lower here than here. But we do get a mouse trap here after accumulation on Saturday. So that's something to keep in mind. And that does happen quite regularly. What else? So not only that, we get another bear div on the 30-minute. We'll go to the 1 hour. We don't get a bear div on the 1 hour, but we do get stronger RSI. So that's something to consider. 30 minutes seems to be quite good for tells of liquidity. I did do, I believe, this is a composite. So I have to label that. So like I was saying previously with the 1 hour composite, normally what I look for is strong buying candles, and then we get selling, and then we get suppression of price under a strong high time frame VWAP. Normally what I want to see is price pushing down and then buying again. So that would be the actual initial indication of test of liquidity, and then I would put the box there. So what else do we get? Well, where is the 50% of this? Here. So I'd be waiting for price to move into this area. What else do we have? We have 5-minute liquidity as well, around a churn candle. Churns are very important. As I stated, they indicate the potential for price reversal or strong movement in one way or another, which is the case. So we have a capture zone around here with 30-minute composite liquidity plus 5-minute liquidity. This is what I would be looking for. You will also get a 50% rule with liquidity on 5-minute as well in the bottom. So it indicates with high probability that price is going to reverse again, which it did. So it's all right if you missed this initial sell-off, you can obviously get it again. So that's what I'll be looking for. Now, what else would I be looking for? So this 4 hour, I think it was from 6 till 10, yes. So that would be the strong close that we'd be looking for. We'll go to the 4 hour quickly. There we go. We get the 2 and 6. Oh, sorry. Whoa. I want to do this quite quickly. I don't want to muck around. Here we go. We get the 18, so 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And that would be the area in which I would be looking for. And then you get price rotation back up and acceptance. So you get high volume in there, which is what we do. So it's essentially a test on New York PM session at the start with high volume, shaking people out, and then you get reversal, acceptance back into the developing monthly val, full traversal of the developing monthly VWAP to 1 hour liquidity resting in the top. So we'll go to the 1 hour quickly. So pretty much this 1 hour being tested, we get high volume into it, closes below the 50%, though we get people pushing price higher than that, and then you get a full sweep up in here. Something to keep in mind, you could, well, I wouldn't do 1 hour liquidity in the top. You get 5-minute, areas around here as well, which you could run price up to. And then you could do a composite. Whoops. You get a composite around here. And then you could have that as a capture zone too. Whoop, not FEG. Liquidity, thank you. And then you pretty much get it around there. 5-minute resistance. and then you get the capture zone between the two 50%. That's what I'd be looking for. You get double confirmation when 5-minute high volume gets put in on New York PM session open at 5:30 AM UTC plus 10, and then you get the 50% rule as well for reversal. Not only that, 30-minute rule too in the top. So that's what I'll be looking for too. If you miss the initial push, you can get that 50% for confirmation of rotation back down. You get another bear div, so you'd be expecting at least rotation back down here. But yeah, it's interesting nonetheless. We'll see what happens. What else do we get here as well? I don't think. Oh, we get another 50% here as well with closes. Close here and the open is slightly different, but obviously you can do it off the open here, and then you get the confirmation of 50% in the bottom. Here you go. So that's what I'll be looking for. And then you get rotation back up. What else? Well, now we're getting high volume on the 5-minute, which is interesting. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I hope this helps. Obviously, if you miss trades, so in the tops and bottoms, if you think you missed out on a trade, you can obviously get in on 50% of liquidity if it's actually going to reverse with price. But that's what I would be looking at. Oh, and there we go, strong. So that would be, whoops, that 5-minute is a composite as well. So you get the full composite test of liquidity at 50%. What else can we do with this? You can also do a potential 50% test of untouched liquidity in here. So it pretty much stacks. So as I said, you wait for the untouched, it doesn't get touched here, comes back down, then you get it touched here. So that's what I'd be waiting for. And then you get the sweep up into resistance and 5-minute liquidity. This one would have been a hard one to take, but obviously I'd wait for 50% confirmation. And then that's what I would be taking. Otherwise, you could get the 5-minute in the top if you're quick enough, and then taking that. All right, well, I think I'll leave it there. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you in the next one.